दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे परब्रह्मनिष्ठं स्वतो धर्मनिष्ठम् अहिंसैकनिष्ठं स्वशिष्यै सुजुष्टम् यतीनां वरिष्ठं गुरूणां गरिष्ठं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे सुशास्त्रे चरन्तं सदा सञ्चरन्तं जनान् बोधयन्तं भवादुद्धरन्तं मठां स्थापयन्तं गुरून् पूजयन्तं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे कलानां प्रचारं दधानं विनम्रं स्वयं ग्रन्थकारं सदा मानितारं नमत्तापहारं स्वयं निर्विकारं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे सदा शान्तिमूर्तिं सदा क्षान्तिमूर्तिं सदा दान्तिमूर्तिं सदा सत्यमूर्तिं प्रमाणप्रवृत्तिं दिशान्तं सुकीर्तिं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे इदं पञ्चकं यः पठेत् शुद्धचित्तः सदा मोक्षमार्गे नितान्तं प्रवृत्तः प्रसादात् स शास्तुर्भवे ज्ञानयुक्तः स जीवन्मृतो वा भवे नित्यमुक्तः स जीवन्मृतो वा भवेत् नित्यमुक्तः सदा स्मेरवक्त्रं कृपापूर्णनेत्रं स्थिरं दीनमित्रं जनप्रीतिपात्रं सुविज्ञातशास्त्रं कषायाक्तवस्त्रं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे परब्रह्मनिष्ठं स्वतो धर्मनिष्ठम् अहिंसैकनिष्ठं स्वशिष्यै सुजुष्टम् यतीनां वरिष्ठं गुरूणां गरिष्ठं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे सुशास्त्रे चरन्तं सदा सञ्चरन्तं जनान् बोधयन्तं भवादुद्धरन्तं मठां स्थापयन्तं गुरून् पूजयन्तं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे कलानां प्रचारं दधानं विनम्रं स्वयं ग्रन्थकारं सदा मानितारं नमत्तापहारं स्वयं निर्विकारं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे सदा शान्तिमूर्तिं सदा क्षान्तिमूर्तिं सदा दान्तिमूर्तिं सदा सत्यमूर्तिं प्रमाणप्रवृत्तिं दिशान्तं सुकीर्तिं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे इदं पञ्चकं यः पठेत् शुद्धचित्तः सदा मोक्षमार्गे नितान्तं प्रवृत्तः प्रसादात् स शास्तुर्भवे ज्ञानयुक्तः स जीवन्मृतो वा भवे नित्यमुक्तः स जीवन्मृतो वा भवेत् नित्यमुक्तः सदा स्मेरवक्त्रं कृपापूर्णनेत्रं स्थिरं दीनमित्रं जनप्रीतिपात्रं सुविज्ञातशास्त्रं कषायाक्तवस्त्रम्
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये चैतन्यं सर्वगं सर्वं सर्वभूतगुहाशयं यत्सर्वविषयातीतं तस्मै सर्वविदे नमः। ताहच्छेद विनाशेषु दुःखित्वं नान्यथात्मनः नैव ह्यन्यस्य दाहादन्यः अन्यो दुःखी भवेत् क्वचित्
प्रमाणप्रवृत्तिं दिशान्तं सुकीर्तिं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे इदं पञ्चकं यः
पुनः आत्मनः न दुःखित्वं. There is dukkitvam at the level of body, but not of the Atma. Why? Naiva hi anyasya dahad anyo dukkhi bhavet kvachit. When one entity gets injured, other unconnected entity has no effect at all, so also Atma is unconnected. So what happens to body and upadhi have no effect upon Atma. Asparshatvad adehatvad naham dahyo etas sada. Aham na dahya, I am not subject to being burnt or injured. Asparshatvad, because I am the Atma is beyond sparsha or the touch. Adehatvad, because the unembodied, not possessed with deha, or is not deha. Tasmad mithyavimanottham vite pratyem. Therefore, to feel that I am injured is a feeling arising from mithyavimanam, from the identification, mrite putre mritiryatha. Just as the father has so much attachment for the son, that when the son dies, father feels, I am dead. Although they are two separate entities, and still what happens to one affects the other, so also the body and Atma are two separate entities, and still only because of identification, one feels what happens at the level of the body. Kundalyamiti yerat bhadyataiva vivekina dukkiti pratyastadvat kevalahandhyasaha. Kundaliyaham, giving an example, just as a person may feel that I am possessed of an earring kundala. Bhadyata eva vivekina pratyayana. So by the viveki pratyaya, meaning that I am the body, I have no connection with the earring, and therefore even kundali, that I am possessed of a kundala earring also is a notion arising from taking myself to be the body. Dukkiri pratyastadvat kevalahandhyasaha. So by the pratyaya that I am the body, how the pratyaya I am kundali is negated. So also keval ahamdhya, when ahamdhi, my aham buddhi is in kevala or in pure Atma or Brahman, that I am dukkhi also, that pratyaya that arose because of taking the body to myself also is negated. Siddhe dukkitva ishtam syat tat shakti sindasam atmanah. Siddhe dukkitve. If Atma can be proven to be dukkhi or possessed of pain, tat shakti sindasam atmanah ishtam syat, then one can imagine at will that Atma is possessed with the power of being dukkhi. Something can happen to me provided I am possessed of that power. Mithyavimanatav dukkhi, but then dukkitvam is mithyavimanataha, only because of that false notion coming from identification. Tena artha apadana kshamaha. Here the teacher says that even though I feel that I am dukkhi, I am not dukkhi. So how can it be that I am not dukkhi and still feel I am dukkhi when I am not dukkhi? Mithyavimanataha, that is mithyavimanam. The identification of the body is capable. Artha apadana kshamaha. So means that identification is capable of creating in me this notion that I am Dukhi. Even though I am not Dukhi, that Mithyabhimanam, that false identification of the body is capable of creating that notion in me. So now continue with the, I think, verse 167. Tameva anyathovapattim sadhayati. Upatti is a feminine word, by the way. So anyway, tam. Asparshopi, verse 167. Asparshopi yatha sparsham. Achalaschalanadicha. Avivekat tatha dukkham. Manasam chatmanikshate. Asparshopi yathasparsham. Even though the Atma is beyond the touch, feels I am touched. Achalas chalanadicha. Atma is beyond chalanam or any movement, feels the movement. Avivekad, because of aviveka, because of the non-discord identification. Tatha dukkham manasam cha atmanikshate. So manasam dukkham. The pain that happens in mind also is thought to be occurring to Atma. So Tika says, Niravayavasya purnasya atmana yatha sparsha chalanaridasanam avivekadeva. In fact, the self, I am Niravayava. Because I am ever there, to be is my nature, I am uncreated. So whatever is created will have parts, because creation takes place by assembling the parts. Niravayavasya purnasya atmana. The self that is niravayava, purna, complete. Yatha sparsha chalanadi darshanam avivekadeva. To feel that I am touched, that I am moving. Avivekadeva, that is superimposition. Aviveka means adhyasa here. The sparsha that belongs to the body, the chalanam movement that belongs to the body, is habitually superimposed. Not that we are deliberately doing it. This is a habitual error that we inherited from time beginningless because of ignorance. So that's what Vedanta constantly points out, that how our conclusions about ourselves are not right. And not only saying that they are not right, Vedanta tells how these conclusions arise, how false conclusions arise. So, niravayavasya purnasya atmana. Atma of the self that is partless, whole and complete. So when there is a wholeness, there is no chalanam, understand. Movement can be there when one is confined to a certain space or desha. There can be movement in time, movement in space, movement in state. But that with this purna or whole cannot change, because it's all the time, in all the places, in all the conditions. Also then, niravayava, that which is partless, also is beyond touch, etc., or movement also both. So inasmuch as the self is uncreated, therefore partless, I am partless. Parts belong to body, belong to mind. Purnaham, I am complete because I love Purnatva. Because I love to be whole and complete. And Therefore, this helps us create the viveka. See the fact that chalanam, movement, sparshanam, touch, it belongs to the gross body. Therefore, to conclude that I am moving, I am being touched, avivekadeva, aviveka because of the adhyasa, identification, adishabdat, shayana utthana upaveshanadi grihyate. I am sleeping, I have gotten up, I am sitting. All these conditions belong to the body. And habitually I take them to be condition of the Atma. Chakarat, then chalas sparsham, achalas chalanadicha, asparshopi yasa sparsham, achalas chalanadicha. Achala feels chalanam. So that chalanadicha, chakarat, parichinnatva abhimanaha. Other abhimana means notion. Parichinnatva, I am limited. So just as all these attributes belonging to the body are habitually superimposed upon the self, and I have various notions about myself. So when we understand what is the source of this notion, how because by failing to see that distance already exists. With Atma and body or Atma and Anatma, distance already exists because they exist in different realities. Anatma is one reality which is Vyavaharika, Atma another reality which is Paramarthika. And therefore the Anatma cannot touch Atma. Cannot move Atma, cannot do Atma, pervades Anatma. Anatma has no access to Atma. Tatha manasam manah kalpitam cha dukkham. So similarly also, dukkha that happens in my mind, manah kalpitam dukkham. Dukkha which is imagined by the mind. Dukkha is imagined by the mind. As far as the touch and movement are concerned, they belong to the body. Dukkha doesn't belong anywhere, is merely kalpana of the mind. Avivekad atmani ikshate. Aviveka, by the failure of separating the two, is thought to belong to the mind, or to the Atma. Avivekadeva dukkha darshanam atmaniti etat anvaya vyatirikabhyam upapadayate, gives us upatti or yukti. Avivekadeva, because aviveka, the inability to separate the two. Dukkha darsham atmani, that one sees that Atma is dukhi. Ityata anvaya vyatirikabhyam upapadayate, is shown by reasoning anvaya and vyatirika. So that is the kind of reasoning that is applied here. So next verse is Vivekatmadhiya dukkham nudyate chalanadivata avivekasvabhavena mano gachatya nichataha. Viveka atmadhiya. So Tika explains Viveka rupaya atmadhiya. Viveka rupa atmadhiya. It's like you'd add the middle term. Madhyama padalopi, you can say Viveka rupa atmadhiya. Atmadhiya means a knowledge of the self which is based on Viveka or discrimination. Atmadhi, self-knowledge I have, but when Viveka, the separatedness is applied of Atma and Atma, Dukkham nudyate, chalanadivat dukkham nudyate. Yasmat, sthuludeha viveka atma jnana chalanadi. Now it's easy to see that it is body that is moving from one place to the other. Then it is very clear that the chalanadi, the movement, etc., belongs to the gross body. And that I think that I am moving, I am walking, I can see that that is a product of the aviveka. Tatha. And so when I see the distance between, or the difference between Atma and body, chalanadi, sudaya sambandhi, mithyadhyastam atmani nivartate. When I create the distance between this gross body and myself, then all the movement of the body which are superimposed, I can see that they don't belong to me. So this is the viveka between gross body and Atma. Then same method is applied between the Sukshma Sharira and Atma. Tatha Sukshma Deha Aviveka Nimittam Dukkham. Tasmad Dukkham. I said Dukkham that belongs to the Sukshma Sharira, mind basically. Neva upapadyate brahmatma jnana samulam nivartate ityartha. So this is the anvaya vyatireka. When one is there, when the identification is there, then dukkha is there, chalanam is there. Identification is not there, chalanam or movement in Atma is not there. So when the identification of the mind is there, dukkha, pain is in Atma. When it is identification with Brahma, then that pain is not there. Anichyadopi aviveka svabhavavan manah chalatiti svabhavat manas chalatiti nimitta muktva. Anichyadopi, without any will on our part. Aviveka svabhavat manas chalatiti. So it is habitual that I identify with myself the mind and the mind, or so when the mind moves, when the body moves, habitually I take that I am moving. Iti nimitta muktva naimittikamaha tada iti. Next verse is tada tu drishyate dukkham naischalye naiva tasya tate pratyagatmani tasmat tate dukkham naiva upapadyate. Yada tu drishyate dukkham. So it says, so when the mind moves or mind undergoes a change, it looks like that I am undergoing that change. Nischalye naiva tasya tate. When I see that I am nischala, I am steady or motionless, all motions belong to body and the mind. Pratyagatmani tasmat tad dukkham naivopadyate. So when one sees that the dukkha belongs to the mind, in pratyagatma, which I am the witness, I am the eliminator of the dukkha, there is no scope because the illuminator is always different from what is illumined. The witness is different from what is witnessed. And therefore I am aware of the dukkha. Therefore, dukkha cannot be in me. एवं युक्तितः प्रत्यगात्मनः निर्दुःख स्वाभाव्य सिद्धे वाक्यादेव ब्रह्मास्मीति अपरोक्ष ज्ञानं भवति. So this is tvam pada shodhanam. Evam yuktitah pratyagatmana nirdukha swabhavya siddhe. By yukti, by reasoning of anvaya vyatirika also, atmana nirdukha swabhavya siddhe. It is established that Atma is nirdukha swabhava, of the nature of nirdukha. That dukkha is never in Atma. Vakyadeva brahmasmiti aparoksha jnanam bhavati. When I see that I am not the gross body, I am not a subtle body, therefore no movement is in me, no dukkha is in me, I am the witness. Nirdukha swabhavya siddhe. Vakyadeva brahmasmiti. Vakya mahavakya tattvamasi. I see that nirdukha atma, that I am Brahman. First seeing the atma is nirdukha, nischala, niravayava, etc. When I see myself, then I can see that I am also limitless, that Brahman, Bruhatvad Brahma, that limitlessness, I am boundless also. Iti aparoksha jnanam bhavati. And immediate knowledge that I am Brahman takes place. So next one says, Tvam satostulya nidatvad nilashvadidam bhave. Tvam satoho tulya nidatvad. So when the Upanishad says Tattvamasi, remember that Tat means Sat. Sadeva Somya idamagrasid. Sat, that is presented there as the Jagat Karanam, that Sat you are. So Tat Virya means there Sat. Therefore, Tvam Tat or Tvam is Sat. Tvam Satoho Tulya Nidatvat. In that Vakya, Tattvamasi, both Tvam and Sat. Sat means Sat. Tulya Nidatva, they are the same adhikaranam, same vibhakti. Nila Ashvat idam bhavet. Nila Ashvat, like a blue horse. Where do you get that? Blue horse? I don't know. But, but then Utpalam won't work here in the Chandas. So Nila Ashvadiyat evadim bhavet, like a blue horse, they may have seen it. But that is also, in fact, Soyam Devadatta, that is the most appropriate example, when not Nila Ashva, because the Nila is the adjective, Visheshanam, Ashva is Visheshya, there is sambandha between them. But anyway, they will say here, Tvam satoho tulya niratvat nilashvat idam bhavet. Idam vakyam, mahavakyam, tattvamasi. Bhavet, akhanda, nishtham bhavet. This vakya is its nishtha, its tatparya, purport in akhanda, in revealing the akhandata, the non-duality. The non-division between Tat and Tvam, non-division between myself and Ishvara. Because I take myself limited being, Ishvara the limitless, because of the identity of the Upadi. So when both the identifications go away, then I see that I am simple consciousness, so is Ishvara. Tvam Satoho, that the Samanadikarani of Tvam and Sat enables me to do that. Because Tat Tvamasi, Tvam Tatasi, Tvam Sadasi, Tvam Jagat Karanamasi. How can it be? If I am qualified as so and so, I cannot be Jagat Karanam. How can I be Jagat Karanam? If I take myself to be Ahankara, I can't be Jagat Karanam. So either what the Upanishad says is wrong, or maybe my conclusion of myself is wrong. And therefore that prompts me to look into the nature of Aham, which was done earlier. How I am totally untouched by the Upadhi. And that with a sense of limitation, a feeling about myself, is in fact habitual, out of ignorance. Idam vakyam akhandarthanishtham bhavet. Thus, sadasi, tvam sadasi, that vakya, akhandarthanishtham, the between sat and tvam. The meaning, akhanda is, the meaning is that non-duality, non-division. There is no khanda or division between you and Brahman, you and Ishvara. Tvam satoho, tvam satpadayoho, tvam pada and satpada, tvam satoho. Tulya needatvat, both of them are the same needa. Means the nest, same nest. Ekartha vrittitvat. In fact, they are in the same vibhakti. Ekartha vrittitvat. Therefore, they possess ekartham. So, their vritti or their scope is in ekartha, meaning that both of them have the same meaning. Both of them refer to the same entity. So this is samanyadikaranatvat. Neela Ashvabadvat ityaksharath. Like Neela and Ashva, both of them refer to the same entity. Similarly, Tvam and Sat, both of them refer to the same entity. That's the idea. So then Tika says that that's not a perfect example. Neela Ashvaidi Padayoho Yadyapi Gunaguna Rupena Samsrustartha Vishayatvam. Neela Ashvaha, Neela is guna, adjective, quality. Ashva is a guni, the locus of that quality. So that is the dravya. Neela is the guna and Ashva is the dravya. The guna guni rupena, guni means possessed of the guna. That's called samsarga. There's samsarga between the Neel and Ashva, so that connection between the adjective and the what qualified and what is the qualification is called samsarga. Between two words, the relation will be the sambandha. This is samsarga. Tathapi ekadravya paryavasayitvena samadhikarana drishtanda drishtavyam. This is not an ideal drishtanda of samadhikaranyam. But anyway, the teacher has given that example, so because Neel and Ashva, both of them ultimately resolve into one entity, that horse. Although Neela has independent meaning, it can mean anything new, but here ekadravya paryavasayitvena, they culminate into one entity alone. So this drishtanta is understood as drishtanta is samadhikaranyam. And what is samadhikaranyam is that both the words have the same meaning. Meaning both the words culminate into by mentioning or indicating same entity. Even though the words are normally used to indicate different meanings, here samadhikaranyam means both of them are different pravritti. Bhinna pravritti nimittam is there, and still ekasmin arthe tatvaryam. So bhinna pravritti nimittanam padam ekasmin arthe tatvaryam. So samana vibhaktikanam, the two words which are placed in the same vibhakti, bhinna pravritti nimittanam tattvamasi, tat is one pravritti, tvam Normally the word tat is used for something that is remote, tvam is used for something that is immediate. So bhinna pravrutti nimittanam, and then samana vivaktikanam ekasmin arthe tatparyam, but they mean one consciousness. Tat also means one consciousness, tvam also means one consciousness. If that is so, then that is called samadhikaranyam. Not because they are placed in same vibhakti. Many things can be placed in same vibhakti, like the visheshana, vishesha, etc. But samadhikaranyam is different from visheshana, vishesha when they refer to the same entity. So here, this is taken to be an example of the samadhikaranyam, although theoretically it is not. Next, katham padayoho ekarthanishtatvam. How do you say this padayoho of the two words? Tvam and sat. Tvam and tat. Ekarthanishtatvam. Both of them, they culminate into the same meaning. So even though outwardly tvam has one meaning, sat has another meaning, but then in this vakya, when you really investigate what sense in which they are used, then you realize that both of them are used to mean the same entity. Tad darshayati, that is shown in the next verse. Nirdukkhavachina yogat tvam shabdasya tadarthata pratyagatma vidhanena tachabdasya yutestatha. Nirdukkhavachina sat shabdena yogat samadhikaranyat. So sat is nirdukkham. Sat is jagat karanam. Sat is self of all. And that which is self of all has to be nirvishesham. What is all names and forms, possessing various distinctions. For something to be equally, being the most common denominator, has to be free from those distinctions. Gold has to be free from distinction of bangleness, earringness, etc., etc. Then only it can be the self of all these ornaments. So Sat is presented as Jagat Karanam, which means the self of all. Jagat Karanam is the material cause, Upadana Karanam, and Upadana Karanam is the Atma, it is self of all. Therefore, Nirdukkhavachina. So by implication, Sat has to be Nirvishesha. And who can be Dukkhi? Only a Vishishta, an entity that possesses distinction. Alone can be Dukkhi. When I am different from the world, then world can inflict something upon me. So only a distinct entity is subject to being inflicted with dukkha, etc. That which pervades everywhere, that which sustains everything, and therefore that which is devoid of any attribute, therefore nothing can touch it, nothing can affect it. That way, Nirdukkhavachana Satshabdena. Yogat Samadhikaranyat Tvam Shabdasya Tadarthata Satshabdarthata. So Tattvamasi. Tat means Sat. So therefore, Tvam Shabdasya Tadarthata Satshabdarthata Samadhikaranyat. Because the Tvam and Sat are the Samadhikaranyam. So So both of them refer to the same entity, not just because they are in one vibhakti, but samana vibhaktikanam vinna pravritinimittanam ekasmin arthe tatparyam. Shruti has a tatparya in saying that you are Sat and Sat is you. And therefore, that it becomes so, both of them have the same entity, that is, it culminates in the same entity. Therefore, samadhikaranyam. Tvam shabdasya tadarthata sat shabdarthata. So the word tvam should mean the same entity that the word sat means. So, sat shabdarthata. Sat shabda has an artha. Pada an artha. And tvam shabda has its own arthata. Tadarthata is sat shabdarthata. Meaning of the word tat is the same as the meaning of the word sat. That's what is meant by tattvamasi. प्रत्यगात्माभिधानेन तत्शब्दस्य युतेस्तथा तथा प्रत्यगात्माभिधानेन त्वं शब्देन तत्शब्दस्य सत्शब्दस्य युतेः योगात्. So tat shabda has a yuti with tvam shabda and tvam shabda is yuti with tat shabda because they are the same adhikaranam. Meaning that what tat means is what tvam means and what tvam means is what tat means. So sat is nirdukkhavachana and that is, so tvam is equated with sat, so sat, tvam also is nirdukkhavachana. And the tvam is aparoksha, so tat is equated to tvam, that is aparoksha, therefore tat also is aparoksha. Samadhikaranyat aparokshatmata siddhati. So we know that I am aparoksha, that I am immediate shining consciousness, but I am limited. I know that Ishvara is consciousness, but that is limitless and remote, paroksha. So parakshatvam of tat and parichinnatvam of tvam. So both of them are negated here by the samadhikaranyam. Therefore, samadhikaranyam aparokshatmata siddhati. Satah tatah aparokshatmata. The sat is aparokshatma, tat is aparokshatma siddhyati. Because I know that the tvam, I am aparoksha. And if tvam and tat mean the same thing, then tat also must be aparoksha. I know that tat is limitless. If tvam and tat have to mean the same thing, then tvam also must be limitless. This equation therefore knocks out two basic notions on our part. That the tvam, that I am limited, a consciousness, all right, but limited. And tat or Brahman is limitless, all right, but remote. So parokshatvam of tat and parichinnatvam of tvam or aham are knocked off just by one simple statement. Normally it is thought that words only create paroksha jnanam, which is a usual conclusion because, yes, words describe something and from description whatever I learn is going to be only imagination in my mind. I have not seen it. So there will be indirect knowledge. I construct some picture in my mind about a person, about a building, about a place. When described to me, Bhutan, for example, then there will be a picture in my mind of a beautiful country with the hills and forests and flowers, and nice rolling hills, panoramic views. So that I can create or I can construct a picture in my mind, all right. There is still only paroksha jnana, but when I go there and see, then that becomes aparoksha jnana. So how does Vakya convey aparoksha jnana? The usual conclusion is that words only can create paroksha jnanam. How can the words also create a paroksha jnanam? So, Drishtanta is there, next one. Dashamastvamasityevam vakyam syat pratyagatmani swarthasya hyaprahanena vishishtartha samarpakau. Swarthasya hi aprahanena, without giving up swartham, one's own meaning. Vishishtartha samarpakau, and simultaneously they impart a particular meaning also. So without relinquishing one's own meaning, they impart also a particular meaning. Pratyagatma avagatyantau, which concludes in the Pratyagatma. Avagati is knowledge. Anta is the end, it's a culmination. So Pratyagatma avagantyau, knowledge of Pratyagatma, na anyartha arthat virodhi artha. 172 much, sorry. Pratyagatma vidhanena tat shabdasya yutes tatha. So only one line is there. Dashamastvamasi ityevam vakyam syat pratyagatmani. Okay. So pratyagatmani, so vakyam aparoksha vastu pratipadakam. So aparoksha vastu pratipadakam vakyam is the well known vakya dashamastvamasi. Nanu tattvam padayoho ekasaniஷ்ഠत्वे paryayatvapattau. You say that in the vakya tattvamasi, both tat and tvam culminate into meaning the same entity. Paryaya apattau, paryayatva. That means that both of them they are synonyms. If tat, the meaning of tat is the same meaning of tvam, then both are synonyms, paryaya. Saha prayoga anupannaha. You do not use two words having same meaning in the same sentence. Ghataha, kalasha, you don't use that, because both of them have the same meaning. They don't, so that's not. So if tad and tvam are paryaya, if they are synonyms, then they can't be used in the same sentence. And the Shruti does use them in the same sentence, tattvamasi. Nasti paryayatvam pravrutti nimitta bhedaditi. So, bhinna pravrutti nimittanam. Both the words tat and tvam have different pravrutti, different meanings. That commonly these two words are used in different meanings. Commonly they are used to convey different sense. The word tat is used to convey something that is paroksha, remote, and the word tvam is used to convey something that is immediate. So normally the words have their pravrutti or their meaning in different entities, so they are not paryaya. Paryayatva is pravrutti bheda is not there. Ghata has pravrutti in one entity and kalasha has pravrutti in the same entity, then they will be called paryaya. So, udakam, neeram, etc., they mean the same thing. So, nasti paryayatvam pravrutti nimitta bhedat. The words tat and tvam are not synonyms because pravrutti nimitta, the reason they have the pravrutti, or they mean different entities and the normal conditions. So says the next verse. Swarthasya hyaprahanena vishishtartha samarpakau pratyagatma avagatyantau नान्योर्थोऽर्थाद् विरोध्यतः. स्वार्थस्य हि अप्रहाणेन, अprahanam, without giving up swartha, without relinquishing their own meaning. Vishishtartha samarpakau. And still they indicate, or they give the Vishishtartha distinct meanings. So without relinquishing their own meanings, they are able to contribute to different meanings. Pratyagatma avagatyantau. So Pratyagatma avagati means knowledge, culminating into knowledge of Pratyagatma. Nanya arthad virodhi ataha. Therefore, arthad virodhi na anya artha. Therefore, there is no virodhi artha between the two. So that's stated in the Tika. Pratyakshatva, parokshatva, lakshana swarthasya. So swartha is one's own meaning. Pratyakshatva, parokshatva. The Atma or word Tvam has meaning pratyaksha, immediate, and Tat is remote, paroksha. This is Swartha. Swartha means one's own essential meaning. So that is the meaning, essential meaning of the two words is Pratyakshatvam, Parokshatvam. So Vachya is all called Vachyartha. So Vachyartha means immediate literal meaning of the words Tvam and Tat. Tvam Pratyaksha, Tat Parokshatva, Aprahanena. So without giving up the two, this particular meanings, aparityaganeva tvam satshabdo vishishtat samarpagau. And even then the words tvam and sat or tat, vishishtat samarpagau, they also impart vishishtat, the particular meanings. So without giving up their own inherent meaning, they also contribute to particular meanings. Ataha vachya vedat na paryayata. Therefore, their vachyartha is different. Tat has a vachyartha in something that is remote. Tvam has vachyartha in something that is immediate, and that they don't give up. So only the opposite things are given up, but these things are not given up that way. Ataha vachya vedat na paryayata. So vachyartha, little meaning is different. So in paryaya, the vachyartha will be the same. Here, vachyartha is not the same, therefore these words are not paryaya or they are not synonyms. Ivam tarhi akhandathatvam na syat. If both of them retain their meaning, they exclude each other. See, what is pratyaksha excludes paroksha, and what is paroksha excludes pratyaksha. So while these two words retain the meanings that are mutually exclusive, how can they refer to the same entity, akhandasatma? How can they mean the same? Pratyagatma avagatyantau. Pratyagatmana shuddha sakshina avagatihi tattvavagatihi antaha avasanam yayotau. Because both these words, sat and tvam, both of them culminated into pratyagatma, which is shuddha sakshi. They culminated into the pure sakshi or awareness. Shruyamanam padayoho samadhikaranyam. So what this Shruyamanam is Shrutya Pratipaditam, what Shruti says is Tattvamasi. There the word Sat Tvasi, the words Sat and Tvam, Tat, or Sat and Tvam are placed in Samadhikaranya. Mitho viruddhavachyartha samsarge. If the two words that the Shruti employs, or anybody employs, mitho viruddhavachyartha samsarge. If mutually both the meaning is viruddha, which is tat has a meaning, tvam has another meaning, and that is viruddha or opposed to each other. Anyatara visheshte anyatareva parivasthanam agachat. Or tat qualified by tvam, or tvam qualified by tat, so tattvamasi. Like the, what is Neela Ashvaha? Ashvaha qualified by Neelatvam. Neelam qualified by Ashvatvam also. Because blue color can be anywhere. When you say blue horse, that means the blue is also qualified by hoarseness. And horse can have different colors, then horse is so qualified by blue. Anyatara vishishte. So blueness qualifies the horse and hoarseness qualifies blue. Va. Pariyasanam agachat. So Samadhikaranyam, Parivasanam agachat, they culminate into either the mitho viruddhavachyartha samsarga, the association of the two words which have contrary meanings, anyatara, or so this is usually the thing. It will either that one word is an adjective, vishesha, other is visheshya, or one is mitho viruddhavachyartha samsarga. Samsarga and vishesha. So this is how it is. Samsarga means Neelam Utpalam. There is a samsarga with Neela and Utpala. So blue, lotus. So blue and lotus have samsarga or association or contact really. Mitho viruddhavachyartha samsarge anyatara visheshte anyatareva. So either both of them are related in some way or one qualifies the other. Yeah, so anyatara vishishta means tvam qualifies tat or tat qualifies tvam, or in some way tam and tat are samsarga is there, meaning but that's the same as anyatara vishesham. No, it says va. Mitho viruddhavachyartha samsarge anyatara visheshte anyatare va parivasanam agachat. So either dande and gam anaya, in that case the danda and gam, dandi devdattaha, then danda and devdatta have samsarga or visheshana. Then Neelam Utpalam also is visheshana. Oh, that is samsarga. That's interesting. Neelam Utpalam is samsarga. Oh, both qualify each other. So Utpalam is Neelatvam, Neelatvam is Utpalatvam. Whereas Dandi Devdattaha, so Danda qualifies Devdatta, not the other way around. So that is the Anyatara Visheshta. So Neelam Utpalam is samsarga and Dandi Devdatta is the Vishesha. Samadhikaranyam parisa agachat kalpita bheda paramarshena lakshanaya vigata parokshatva aparokshatvadyamshe. So either you look at the tat and tvam as qualifying each other, or tat qualifying tvam, or tvam qualifying tat, tat being Visheshan of tvam, or tvam being Visheshan of tat, like the Dandi Devadatta, or like Neelam Utpalam, each one qualifying the other. Kalpita Bheda Paramarshena, then you realize that the Bheda of Tat and Tvam is really Kalpita Bheda because of the Upadhi and not the Swarupata. Lakshanaya. So Vachyartha is different by Lakshyartha. Because when you look at the Bheda that Tat and Tvam have, we realize that ultimately they refer to only same consciousness. Lakshanaya, Vigata, Parokshatva, Aparokshatva. So that Tat is Paroksham, Tvam is a Paroksha. These are the Amsha which are, that they are Viruddha. But then if they have to mean the same entity, then this Viruddha Amsha have to be given up. So there were Parokshatva, Aparokshatva which are mutually opposed have to be given up in order for them to be equal. Because Upanishad says Tattvamasi. So Tat and Tvam can be identical only when that Viruddhamsha is to be given up. Swarupamatre Swayam Devadattavat. So Aikyam can only be Swarupamatre. So that means that Upadhi Amsha are there, Parokshatvam, Pratyakshatvam, and giving them up. Swarupatva is consciousness, Swayam Devadatta. Saha means that, Ayam means this. So Saha refers to one Upadhi, that Devadatta. Devadatta possessing thatness, and Devadatta possessing thisness. So maybe that Devadatta was in coat and suit and boot. This Devadatta is in, in I don't know, the orange robes, etc. But if both Devadattas are same, then you give up the opposing Amsha, Akhande Devadatte Paryavasyati. So how in our mind we give up or discard or negate these apparently contradictory elements and see the identity of the one, the Devadatta, which is Vyakti Devadatta. Here also one consciousness comes in two ways, as a Paroksha and Aparoksha, but they are said that they are same consciousness, Tattvam. Therefore, in order for them to be one, you have to give up the opposing Amshas. Itivat akhande paryavasyati. So just as Swayam Devadatta culminates into the revealing one Devadatta Vyakti. Iti pratyegatma avagatyantau. This is how this verse, Tattva, or the Vakya, Tattvamasi, culminates into our knowledge of what is common between them, which is pratyegatma or consciousness. Tattvam Shabdo Ukta Vityartha. So therefore the word Tat and Tvam, the Samadhikaranyam, is not Visheshana Vishesha, there is no Samsarga there or no Sambandha there, but then there is Aikyam or identity. So this is how when you listen to these words of a teacher, that you are Brahman, then you think that wait a minute, I am Brahman, I am so and so, and Brahman that is. So but teacher says I am Brahman. That means that there is something wrong in my conclusion, I as well as Brahman. And then I realize that this contrariness arises from Upadhi, that the limitedness of I also comes from the Upadhi, the remoteness of Brahman also comes from Upadhi, that is Maya. So when I see that, then I see the meaning of the identity. So that is how Pratyegatma Avagatyantau, Avagati knowledge, Avagatyantu culminating in knowledge of the Pratyegatma. Okay, now we'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।